What's up, y'all? It's Cartier Rob.
It's Tay Ford.
And Marcus Lattimore.
And today we have illustrious guest on. So if you're choosing today's podcast, you're choosing information, you're choosing poetry, you're choosing haikus, you're even choosing some football, and you're just choosing black men having a conversation. So if you like what we're doing, like, comment, subscribe.
And Rob, it seems like it's time for us to do what we do every week.
I feel like when you say that now, it's almost like peeking the rain. Like, what do we do every
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Take over the world.
Yeah, but Marcus, I know you've seen our show before, but to open up every episode, we like to play this game called "What Do You Play No Games About?" Rob, you want to explain it to him?
Yeah. So what are you playing on games about is just a icebreaker type of conversation of like, the week is, busy, chill, and it's just an opportunity to say how you feeling. So if traffic is bugging you, if the big beautiful bill is bugging you, just talk about it. Or if you're just having a great day, just tell us what you playing on games about.
Oh, I was already ready for this question.
This is gonna be the first time we let a guest start.
Yeah, guest started off.
Yeah, I was ready, and I am playing no games about Canadians.
Oh,
Canadians.
tell us more.
I spent last week in Victoria, British Columbia, on vacation. It's been a long year, 5 months on the grind, nonstop. So we had 3 to 4 days to do nothing. And when we crossed that border, it's real. It's not just a reputation. Like, you actually feel the difference when you get across the border. Even the patrol guy, I mean, he came up to us with courteousness, but we go to Vancouver Island, and oh man, Canadian white people, they are just they don't smile with their eyes. They smile with their lips too. And I started to notice it when I was on a hike. We would just walk by and it would be like the most genuine comment that you would ever think of. It was just sincere and just everything that they did. And it was, okay, they don't say hi out of obligation. They just say hi because they want to. And I attribute some of that to being on the island. Anytime you go to an island, I mean, you're surrounded by water, I think you feel the difference in the people and how they move.
Now, not to cut your knowledge, I want to ask, just because you're from the South, so how would you say Canadian hospitality compares to like Southern hospitality?
Oh my God. Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
Down south, we'll cook your dinner, we'll wash your clothes, we'll do everything for you now. Open the door, yes ma'am, no sir. That's real. Southern hospitality is real, but just because of where it is, there's just a historical lure that lingers in the atmosphere, and
we gotta check the temperature before.
Like there's just this unconscious superiority, inferiority that kind of like it's in the background.
Yeah,
we're very nice. Southerners are very nice. Like it's just a part of who we are. But it's just something about the West Coast that it didn't catch over here. It didn't catch over here. I don't know. Victoria versus the South. I'll just say it's a bit more genuine. It's a bit more genuine. You feel it.
Yeah.
You just feel it in your body. It's just like, okay, I can be in this rural, woodsy, forested place. There's not a lot of people. You go to a woodsy, forested place in Georgia or Arkansas, and you this color. You gonna feel a little bit different than you do when you in Vancouver Island. So it was an experience that I cherish, honestly.
That's what's up, bro.
I'm glad you got that.
I would say for me, what I played no games about this week. Not gonna say no names. Whoever this applies to. If I'm volunteering to get you some food, I ask you what you want. All I ask is that you have an idea of what you would like to eat. Because if you just leave it up to me, I really don't want to hear that, this isn't what you wanted. So be
feel that.
assertive and
Yeah, yeah.
decisive in terms of
Yeah.
like what you want to consume.
Yeah, hopefully this is not a relationship dynamic topic.
Wow, you are really not beating the federal agent.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Allegations.
First and foremost, if the shoe fits, I'm just saying you could have kept
You
it going.
really are the feds. I hope
The
you know that.
Federalics.
I feel that one.
Anywho, you know what I want to play no games about? I think I actually don't want to play any games about spending quality time with your partner.
Oh, good answer.
I actually got to spend some quality time with my partner. It is we've had a rough year, and it was good to see that spark come back in relationships. I feel like everyone uh always talks about the highs, but never talks about the lows. And like when you get out of those lows, you never really celebrate them. So I got to see us, weather a storm. So I was actually pretty happy with our 4th of July week. So, shout out to strong relationships.
That's what's up, bro.
That's beautiful.
And you left me no room to make a joke. I'm mad. But anyways.
Yeah, it's so cute.
I know
You
exactly.
can't make a joke after something that
then it just
that
comes off as
cute.
disrespect. Then she feels away, and then he got to do something, and then I gotta show him why my hands are certified.
I hope there's a close up. I hope there's a close up.
But anyways, Marcus, again, thank you for coming here, bro.
It's a pleasure.
For those of you who don't know, Marcus is doing a lot of tremendous things in life and has been for years. Now, a lot of people know you as a SEC legend and prep football legend. So I just got to ask, what the hell are you doing in Oregon?
It's a good question. I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know, man. It was just okay. I'll paint the picture. Imagine a kid from, I don't know, Sweet Home, Oregon, who is highly talented and he won 3 state championships, and Oregon and Oregon State has been at his neck since he been in 9th grade, and they just begging for him to come, and everybody in the state knows his name because he scored 100 touchdowns in high school, and he's the number one he's the number one player at his position. So all the cameras around Oregon are on Sweet Home, this small town, Sweet Home, Oregon. And when it comes to deciding time, he chooses Oregon or Oregon State. So obviously the magnifying glass amplifies a little bit more, but because he's playing for one of the flagship universities. And he made that decision because one of the coaches told him that, this is not a 4-year decision. This is a 40-year decision. And to an 18-year-old mind, that sounds great. That sounds like, oh, financial security. That sounds like, oh, my mom and daddy, they gonna be good. Sounds like, oh, my sister, she probably could get a job wherever she want to. That all sounds great. And he goes on, he has a great career at Oregon or Oregon State. He's an All-American. He scores a bunch of touchdowns, breaks a bunch of records, goes into the Hall of Fame, and he has everything that the coach said.
Yeah.
The coach told him that, you gonna be good for the rest of your life. You gonna be straight. And he is. But he gets to this point where it's just like, man, is this all there is? Is this all that I am? Is this all it's gonna be? Like, I'm just going to be known as the Oregon Duck or the Oregon State. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be known as the Oregon Duck. I see we're ducks in here for the rest of my life. And everywhere I go in Oregon, everybody remembers me as the Oregon Duck.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets to a point where it's just like, I'm just gonna sit on my ass for the rest of my life because I don't have to do anything. Like I have a nice job. I don't have to go to the job because of who I am. He got to a point where it's just like, this is not it. Like, I need a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I need a challenge. I need to take myself out of familiarity. I need to extricate myself from this environment, or I will die and drown in my awards. I will drown in my name and end up overweight, chasing pleasure for the rest of my life.
Mhm. But why did like here versus like say Atlanta, Houston, Chicago? You know, it's just like I'm from Portland. I love my
Yeah,
hometown, but you know, it's just
yeah.
not some place that black people tend to gravitate towards.
Yeah.
For somebody who is trapped in their mind,
Mhm.
Portland, the reputation of Portland
Yeah.
is an attractive city. The reputation from the outside in, like you being from here, I get it would be like me talking about where I'm from, Duncan, South Carolina. Like, why you move here? Like I completely get it. But from the outside perspective, Portland is a place where it seemed as if I could grow and try new things without being judged and without people knowing who I am. Like it felt like a place where I could ultimately like blend in
Mm.
and kind of Nas has a song. Nas and Lauryn Hill have a song called "Nobody," and in the chorus, Nas keeps saying, "Some place to be nobody, some place you wouldn't know problems." And then he obviously Lauryn Hill had an experience in her life where
Mhm.
she just vanished from the industry, and nobody knows where she moved to this day. I mean, maybe it was Europe, maybe it was Africa. No, I
She's
don't think
supposed to
of.
be performing right now. They still don't know where she
She's a ghost.
Yeah.
Like so. I I relate to that song a lot because I just wanted to start over, completely start over as a new person. Because as the person I was, there was no growth happening. I was just chasing pleasure, and it was just got boring.
Real.
Yeah,
Damn. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I know we have like questions to like keep on the timeline, but you said so many like nutrients from like, damn, like I can't wait to ask you the second half like of our questions we have. So I feel horrible getting us back on pace because I just want to know a little bit about the beginning and the origins of your football career. And I kind of want to know because the two-parter question is who put that pigskin in your hand,
mm.
and when you had it, when did you? What age did you know? Like, you know what? I'm a beast. This is clicking faster than me than the other kids. What was it? What was that like?
So my name is Marcus.
Mhm.
I was named. My dad named me after a Hall of Fame running back that played for the Trojans
Mhm.
and went on to play in the NFL for the Raiders and Chiefs, Marcus Allen.
Okay.
Uh, what's really strange is I didn't even have an opportunity to watch Marcus Allen.
I'll have to cut you real quick because you did something that I noticed a lot of my friends do from South Carolina. You said Trojans. So your university, you call it USC, I'm assuming?
The real USC.
I knew it.
It's the only
Yeah.
USC. It was a school. It was founded before even USC, whatever that is, but whatever that school in LA is.
Mhm.
Okay.
Before 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 anything.
Mhm.
That's the real USC is in Columbia, South Carolina for everybody in Southern California, just so you know.
Okay.
But yeah, I was named after Marcus Allen.
Mm.
And what's strange when I watch his film, our running styles mimic.
Mhm.
Like it was forward lean, um, pads low, a little bit lanky,
Mm.
but our hips were fluid. So it started with my dad.
Mm.
My dad, it was a way for us to bond, I assume. I really didn't know it at the time. And my brother played, my
Mhm.
older brother, who is 6 years older than me.
Mm.
Um, so I wanted to be like my dad, and I wanted to be like my brother.
Mm.
And when my dad left the house after my parents got divorced, it was my brother. That was dad.
Mhm.
And he played and uh, I grew up in one of those towns where the little league team
Mm.
runs the same plays as the high school team.
Oh.
and we are essentially rebels in training, and that was our mascot, the Burns Rebels.
Mhm.
So by the time you're 7 years old, you kind of you're desensitized because you've been smacking pads
Mhm.
um, from 7 all the way up, and then our goal. I mean, some of my heroes, my football heroes, you would never even know their name because they grew up in Duncan, South Carolina, and Reedville, South Carolina, just in Spartanburg County.
Mm.
But those were the people I saw. That's who I wanted to be like. My world was Duncan, South Carolina. So it's a blessing to grow up in a community like that. But um, it's also cultish in a way. You don't really know anything else. This
Yeah.
is what you do, and football is the way. And we, you get into middle school, and I mean, there's 500 people at the game.
Mhm.
The ninth grade game, there's probably 1,000 people at the game, and then varsity. I mean, the town is shut down. It's Friday Night Lights, so you work your whole life to get to that point. And I was one of those kids. I remember I got Player of the Week in middle school, and Player of the Week meant you got an opportunity to be on the sideline of the high school game.
Oh.
And for that, like to be on the sideline of a Burns high school game,
Mhm.
I mean, it was everything. Will Korn was the quarterback at the time, 4-star, every offer in the country. He went on to play at Clemson, but I'll never forget this moment. We're playing, it's Burns versus Dorman, which is one of our big rivals.
Mm.
He takes a quarterback draw, and I mean, he takes about 15 yards, runs somebody over, and then he's coming towards the sideline, like right at me and my friend who got Player of the Week. And he stiff arms a guy like right in front of our face. And we got to touch him. We got to touch his jersey. And I could have died right there. That's it for me. That's it.
Okay.
So that was our life, football. And we get to a point where we get our opportunity
Yeah.
to be Burns Rebels.
Mm.
And we took advantage of that opportunity. I mean, I played in a few games my freshman year. My first game was on ESPN, against a school in Florida. And I scored a touchdown. And that's when life changed.
Damn,
Life
man.
changed in that moment. So,
That's fire. That's fire.
yeah.
Now, I gotta ask, bro. Two-part question. One, was it already ordained that you were gonna go to South Carolina? And then, secondly, once you were there, because you had probably one of the most prolific freshman seasons that I've seen, being able to watch it in real time, was it kind of surprising that you were able to dominate as early as you were?
Was it to answer the first part of your question, was it ordained? When I look at it now, like from a 33-year-old living in Portland, Oregon, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was supposed to happen. All of this was supposed to happen. I'm supposed to be sitting right here with y'all. At the time, my 18-year-old brain wanted I, I was leaning more towards Penn State. Penn State because I think I was just attracted to tradition and just the identity of Penn State. They ran the football. They were known for running the football. They was gonna give it to you. You just really didn't know with Coach Spurrier, who was recruiting me at the time.
Mhm.
And then I got to know him a little bit better, and I guess it was ordained. And then the second part of your question was,
Was it surprising to you at all that you were able to dominate in the SEC that quickly as a freshman?
as decorated as my high school like career was,
Mhm.
I was still a little bit insecure.
Hmm.
I was insecure about my speed because there were so many backs. When I watched the SEC, and I just remember watching Trent Richardson against Texas when he was a freshman. in the Rose Bowl, the national championship. And I mean, he took a handoff. And I mean, he just looked so much faster than me. So I compared myself to, I mean, as you do
It's
in
natural.
sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you just compare yourself to other backs. I'm like, I'm not big as Trent Richardson. I'm not as fast as Trent Richardson. How in the hell am I going to play in the SEC? Like that loomed in my brain a lot. But I got there. I came from a program, Burns High School, where we had the best strength coach in America. His name is Coach Michael Strock, and he kind of like created an entire blueprint for Olympic lifting. So I had that background and I had that work ethic. I knew I had that going in. I knew I wasn't going to be outworked. I mean, that was just for show. And I showed up that summer, worked my ass off, showed up that fall. I was a little bit discouraged because I wasn't getting as much carries as I thought I would. But there was a moment during special teams drill that I really did a good job on the drill. And coach called me out in the meeting. And he said, "All right, I want you to watch this freshman who's probably going to be helping us a lot this fall." And he circled me, and everybody plays special teams, so the whole team in there. So I'm like, he calling me out. He's like, "This is a hell of a job, Marcus." And I think that's when my confidence boosts. I was like, "Oh shit, maybe I can do this. I can play at this level." And I ain't look back. I mean, I ran my ass off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like for me, honestly, just the era I came up on, because I'm only a couple years younger than you. You and Jadavion really put South Carolina's football program on the map, because I mean, I had known about the program and stuff, but I was like, oh shit, they really got some stuff brewing over there. Just a jump
That's a
right.
different cat there.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he's. I mean, I've never seen somebody never in my life. I mean, he's 6'7", 275 pounds, and he runs the 40-yard dash in 4.4 seconds. So I mean, like, and he could have done that without touching a weight or getting up off the couch. If he would have sat there the whole summer, he would have had 3 sacks a game. I mean, he's just genetically something is in the water in Rock Hill, South Carolina, as you know.
Yeah, for sure. Now my boy Alfred, he ain't really get that, but shout out Fred. You great in tech and everything you're doing business wise, and you can play the hell of a drum. But
Why you always doing that to people?
what? Shout out my friends on my podcast.
That was a sneak diss. What are you talking about?
He know this. No, but just to jump Rob real quick, I just got one more question, like college related. So, you played in a era in the past now. As you're seeing these kids getting NIL deals, I'm just curious. Are you upset at all?
I'm a hater.
At your parents and have you 10 years later?
Hater. I'm the biggest hater now. Man. Yeah, we missed the boat because we would have been getting paid. We had some cats. We would have been getting paid. I mean, like you mentioned, Clowney, Gilmore, Jeffrey, myself. I mean, we would have had $5 million apiece, probably. Because I mean, it was the hottest era in South Carolina football history, and it is to this day. But we missed the boat, but I'm genuinely happy for the cats who really getting it. I mean, because at the end of the day, you do so much off the field when you're a high profile collegiate athlete. Like, you do so much in the community. You are invited to speak. You go to kindergarten classrooms. You open car doors at middle school. I mean, there's just so much. You do literacy day. I mean, there's so many activities that our quarterback right now, who's getting $3 million a year, Lenore Sellers, and he deserves every penny. Probably needs a little bit more. He's being pulled in 1,000 different directions right now because he's the best quarterback in the SEC, maybe the best in the country, and he's in a place like South Carolina. And that's in South Carolina. Football is all you see when you go through a small town is a Clemson flag or a Gamecock flag. That's it. Football is all we have. So I mean, he deserves that money. And I mean, it's to all of them, to every single one of them, go get the money, go get the money, just stock the money and bond the money and invest it so you can live off some of that money and learn money and just don't attach it to your self-worth.
Facts. Basically, what you're saying, y'all, is you get this type of watch that I got. Don't trick all your money off on an AP. Be fiscally responsible.
You can get you an AP.
Hey,
Just
make
don't
bank
ice
out
it out.
Yeah,
Don't spend 50 grand on the diamonds. Get you an AP though.
And if y'all didn't know, adding all them diamonds just devalues the watch.
Yep,
But
there it is.
that's neither here nor there.
That's free game. I want to fast forward us just a little bit, because you've been talking about your worth ethic and you're talking about so much about what builds you up to high school, what builds you into college, and you took a lot what you took from high school into college and it translated. I'm just curious, what was it like for that very first practice in the NFL?
Hmm. Well, if I'm being completely honest, I knew I wouldn't last long
Hmm.
because my mind was strong,
Mm-hmm.
but my body was on a decline.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I had two huge injuries in college.
Mm-hmm.
In 2011, I tore my ACL and MCL. In 2012, I dislocated my right knee, tore all four ligaments, my calf muscle and my hamstring, and they had to rush me to the
Yeah.
hospital to make sure I didn't have nerve damage. So my career was dwindling before it even started, and I wasn't the same ever
Mm-hmm.
again. I rehabbed. I got back to a place where I could show the NFL scouts before the 2013 NFL draft that something was salvageable. Like
Yeah.
I could move, and I was 65% of myself. But when I got there, I mean, there was like 5 Jadeveon Clowneys in there
Mm-hmm.
on the defensive line.
Especially that time.
Yeah, like I mean, the 49ers in 2013, I mean, and I don't say this lightly, maybe that defense, I'm being generous when I say 5 Hall of Fame talents on the defense, just on the defense. So 5 out of 11 players on the defense were Hall of Fame talents. And I'm watching this every day. And we were talking about like confidence earlier, like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
insecurities. My insecurities really overtook me when I saw like how these guys move. It was a blessing to be there. But I wasn't athletically, physically, I wasn't at that level anymore. I did what I could. Coaches gave me hints that I was improving, and I felt like I was when I was there.
Yeah.
And you talk about the first practice, hell, I went hard. They couldn't tell that I was at 65%
Mm-hmm.
because my mind was so strong
Yeah.
that I mean, I had pain in this knee. I was cutting on this knee. I was moving okay,
Mm-hmm.
like enough to where people would say, like, maybe he's not who he used to be, but he's close.
Yeah.
And, but man, I knew I wouldn't be able to sustain, my knees wouldn't be able to sustain it. So the first practice was an eye opener. And I have to say, it was a blessing. It was a blessing
Yeah.
to be there. I don't downplay the fact that I was drafted into the NFL
Mm-hmm.
at all. And I was able to be a part of the San Francisco 49ers organization. And I'm sitting right beside my hero, Frank Gore, a guy that I watched growing up who went through 2 knee injuries and overcame them. And I'm right beside him. I'm right beside Colin Kaepernick, who's turned into a John Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right beside Alden Smith and Joe Staley, and I'm around all these
Patrick Willis.
Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman, Michael Crabtree, just like all these folks that I watched.
Yeah.
And I'm in the same locker room as them. I cherish that. But internally, I was like, man, I knew I was on the decline before I even started. However, there's two sides to everything. It was a beautiful experience.
Mm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, you talked about your injuries real briefly. I want to ask, once you got to a point where you were like, in my head, it's time for me to shut it down. What was those conversations like with, say, your positional coach or with Coach Harbaugh or even your family? Like, what, you know?
Yeah, that's there were no conversations.
Mm.
You know, there were no conversations, and that's something that I look back on and I realized I didn't have the ability to articulate how I was feeling. You know, so I lied through it. You know, like and you know, there's a football proverb. There's a difference between being injured and hurt, and that echoed in my brain ever since I've been 7 years old. You know, so I'm not about to tell anybody that I'm hurting. I'm gonna push through it. I'm gonna take a pill to get through it. I'm gonna wrap my knee to get through it. I'm gonna do whatever I got to do, but I ain't about to quit. That's just not something. That's not. I'm not about to tell you I'm hurting because that puts in their unconscious that, oh, maybe he ain't ready. Maybe he doesn't want it. And that's the last thing I want a coach to think I don't want it.
Yeah.
I want it to be here.
Um, that sets up for our final question of this break. But before I even just ask that, like what you just said was like mad, like powerful. Because I also kind of even think too with the outside of like the football world, I think of a lot of men too when it comes to like that same mindset. And you talk about being back at home and how home was like cold. Like I gotta be on the sidelines. I gotta be there, and just like man, how many you know things we overlook. So no, I really appreciate you saying that
Mm.
because it brings me to the final question of this segment is like when it comes to knowing that and being in that position, what was your mindset like for you to like actually like I need to retire? How'd you put it all together?
Man, it was just a moment of stillness,
Mhm.
a moment of I'm in my apartment. There's nothing on. The TV's off. My phone's away. My knee is like beaming with pain, um, swollen, sore. And my sister walks through the door. My sister's living with me at the time.
Mhm.
My sister walks through the door, and I don't know. It's just maybe it's just something about sisters, or just a feminine energy that is in tune with you,
Yeah.
that kind of softens me. Uh, and I could cry. I could cry in that moment. And she didn't say a word. She just came over and she just held me.
Mm.
Um, it was then. It was just like, I'm done. And she, I mean, maybe she had a hint a month before, a couple months before. I ain't even tell her, and she living with me.
Mm.
How I'm feeling. But maybe there was something that she could sense. But yeah, she just held me. She knew. It was like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to let it go.
Yeah.
But it felt like letting go of me. I was letting go of, like I was dying. If I didn't,
Yeah.
it was a death happening. But um, it was in that moment. Yeah.
Shout out to your sister.
Yeah.
Makes me think about my own sister and like growing up. I would say right now, in my adult relationship, me and her are getting far more closer. And like my sister, like in so many ways, she knows me. Certain things I can't say on the pod right now, but like during the holidays, she just gave me that look and just like my big little older sister. Yeah. Shout out to the sisters.
Shout out to all the sisters out there.
Shout out to my sisters as well.
Damn.
as much as they may annoy me sometimes. No, I'm playing. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. But no, that was very powerful, Marcus. I know we spent a lot of time talking about your past. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break and then just get up to date as far as like what you're doing now.
Hell yeah,
Sound like a plan?
let's do it.
The future is bright.
All right, y'all. Be right back. All right, we're back, y'all. Still here for a fruitful conversation with my dear friend Marcus Lattimore. So, Marcus, I just want to ask, bro. I know we were talking about your past a lot, but what's life for you these days? I know we used to work for a similar employer at one point, but
Yeah.
what you up to now?
Oh man, I'm just deep in my craft, and that craft is writing. I've been learning, growing, um, taking classes at PCC. Just I think the biggest thing I've learned about being a writer is how important it is to have your mind clear. So honestly, T, I don't try to consume a lot. I like
That's a
to
blessing.
That's fair.
I'm about to say something very privileged right here. Very privileged. I had an opportunity. I moved there in 2020, and I had an opportunity because of how my financial situation had been set up that I could be and sit and do nothing in silence for a year. And that's a luxury, and I understand um how grateful I'm grateful for that, for having that opportunity, and that opened me up to doing nothing. Kind of opened me up to, like, what do I like?
Mhm.
Like, what am I interested in? Who am I? I mean, hell, outside of Jersey.
Mhm.
So I had that time to, like, almost reconnect with the buried interests that I lost when football came around. Like, I mean, I used to read so much. I was like in third and fourth grade, geography, and I loved anything about culture, learning anything about culture.
Mhm.
Um, but all those interests kind of got put to the wayside because football was the priority. So moving to Oregon allowed me to reawaken, like, the kid inside of me, I
Mhm.
would say.
Yep.
And nowadays, I mean, I'm in my craft. I teach, so I'm a writer, but I also got an opportunity to teach. I do keynote speeches across the country, and I did one in Bend, Oregon, and uh, it was for a drug and alcohol rehab retreat. All of the CEOs and heads of the organizations were there. One of the CEOs heard me speak. It was like, "Hey, would you ever be interested in teaching?" I was just like, "Yeah." I said yes. Maybe there was something inside of me that told me that, yeah, I should try this out, because it's just another creative outlet. I think te- teachers are creators, and I mean, she's given me full liberty, to teach at her center, and I honestly created a program where I can do what I want, but the goal is to, they develop a habit or a ritual around journaling and just being creative writing. So I teach creative writing. Uh, I do. I try to frequent all the spoken word open mics across the city of Portland as much as I can. There's a lot going on all the time here, and I try to dabble in theater. Anything to uh anything that allows me to play,
Mhm.
I'll say. Um, so my schedule's pretty flexible because I split my time between keynote speaking and writing and teaching. So that those are my three things right now. And my wife, she has her business, so I help her out, but she runs it. She just tells me what to do.
Yeah.
In terms of like the
Sounds like
poetry.
married life.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So I mean, you're doing haikus on Saturday. Teach people how to do haiku.
Now, are you available? Yeah.
I'm available.
Yeah.
So
Do that right now.
life is chill.
Life is good.
Life is good.
So, when people talk about like getting in touch with their inner kid, at times that could be healing, that could be therapeutic, and I'm just curious,
Mm.
um, for you, has writing and poetry has that been a part of your healing journey, or do you think that has always been one of your latent talents and abilities that has finally been able to come out?
Oh, that's a good question. You know, talk when you said tapping back into that inner child.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of disturbing images
Mm.
from that childhood
Yeah.
era that I had to deal with,
Mhm.
and I dealt with it in my journal.
Mhm.
Yeah, so uh, I started to touch the pen a little bit right before we moved here,
Mhm.
and then when I got here, I just realized that journal. It was something about when I journaled how I felt, like about. I'll give you a perfect example. I was inducted into the University of South Carolina Hall of Fame at the end of 2019. That experience sounds like it's supposed to be a celebratory experience.
Yes.
Yeah, it's supposed to be momentous. I'm supposed to be happy. I'm supposed to be smiling. This is it. I've reached the pinnacle of any South Carolina kid. But it wasn't. And journaling about that, like how I really felt about it helped me. And after journaling, I was just like, that's when it clicked for me that I need to go. I need to leave South Carolina. So journaling, sitting with myself and how I'm feeling prompted me to move out here, like to move away, which has now ultimately I'm happier, healthier than I've ever been. You know, so journaling is it's been the pen has been medicine from the beginning. It started with journaling. I got back to a base level where I feel in touch with myself, a little bit more self-aware. And I was like, I started writing a little bit more. I'm just like, now I got room for imagination in
Yeah.
my mind. You can't like there's no room for imagination like when you just drowning in your emotions. And I was
Yeah.
just drowning in my emotions. So I was like, this is a little bit fun. Now I'm having fun with it.
See, I'm glad that you said that because when I was going through my master's program, I will never forget this class. They were like, "All right, when you're in the room with the client and therapist, you got to be sit up straight, monotone, don't take notes, don't do nothing, like be fully in the moment." And like sitting in the class, I always thought like the power of like when you write that stuff down, like you are mirroring to your clients that like what you're saying is important and you have to write that stuff down. Like,
Mm,
yeah, I can remember that. Yeah, that's what God gave me. But like
mhm,
the power of writing something and taking it from here to here, like that is like so formulaic and beautiful because it was that powerful. It moved me to write.
oh
Wait,
my
they
goodness.
advise y'all not to take notes during your sessions?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So the reason why I'm saying that is because sometimes they could say like it's distracting. Like the person doesn't think that you're paying
Ah,
attention to them.
and they get a little bit antsy, maybe.
I
Exactly.
could kind of get that, but I'm also like, I've had therapists and they both have taken notes, and I'm glad that they were able to reflect on that stuff and then come back.
But think about like old school days. Like old school days, I'm gonna show you ink blob. Like we've like matured, and so they're
Okay,
basing it
yeah,
off of
Mm.
I
like,
get what you
all
mean.
right, let
Yeah,
me like you don't need to do that anymore. Where
yeah.
I'm like, no, I will never give that up because there are times where like I need to write this down because what you're saying to me, yes, I want to remember it from my note, but I also want to remember it because it was that powerful. I gotta write that.
Yes.
So
Oh.
I appreciate you saying that.
You you just remind me, like, okay, when I journal, I don't it's hard to even describe
Mhm,
because it feels metaphysical.
mhm,
It when I journal, after I journal, like all my thoughts and all my emotions, it's almost as if I detached. Like there's I detach and this is just the experience.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just an experience that is happening and thoughts are swirling and thoughts are moving and some of them are mean and some of them are good and some of them are ambitious and it's just a lot going on up here. But when I journal them out, I detach from those thoughts and I can see it and I'm just like a observer
Mhm.
of the experience and not fully engulfed into this. Oh my God, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
But it's yes, it's weird. It's interesting.
Now, see, I had a whole separate question, but you've kind of just like sparked some thoughts in my head. So, a hobby of mine, I like to write short films.
Oh,
And at times when I say I hit a roadblock and I just have like writer's block, I usually I listen to music because for me, when I'm writing and I'm building out storylines or any type of scene, I almost scoring to me in movies as far as like the music it displays emotion without a word even being uttered. And from there, when I have albums that convey the type of emotions I'm trying to pour out, it helps just the words flow.
mm,
So I want to ask you, is there a outlet or a particular muse you lean into when, you're doing your poetry or journaling and you're like, man, ain't nothing flowing right now. I need to get back synced in.
mm. For me, when you ask that question, and there's, I'm not clear. That's when I'm not clear, I just put the pen down and I just go outside or I go like engulf myself in the trees, like just immerse myself in some forest nearby. And usually that is exactly what I needed to do. Like I just needed to be still, be in silence, be with the trees. Something about, man, there's something about Oregon. Something about Oregon is really like just um being in the forest out here. It really um it just shows me truth.
Mm.
And it's hard to even kind of like describe it. I guess I'm leaning towards like a spiritual
Right.
aspect
I
of
was
Yeah.
gonna
this.
say,
Like,
bro, I didn't like going hiking, like being in nature when I was younger. Now as an adult, it's one of my favorite hobbies, like I told you earlier. And last year when I was going through my grieving process of losing a close friend, it really took me hiking more, going out to nature to really hear God.
Mm.
And I feel like
yes, yes,
getting out in nature was the most connected I felt spiritually. And from there, like I've been going to church more regularly and really reactivating my walk with Christ since then.
yes, yes.
If you don't mind me asking, on your hikes, when do you feel the most connected? Because that's a I like how you frame that. Do you feel that most connected where God's talking to you while you're walking to a certain point, or when you
Mm.
get to that point? I'm curious.
Mm,
If you don't mind me asking, real quick.
I would say a little bit with that particular hike. I would say once I reached the top, overlooked the city, and I was just reflecting on my friend that passed,
Mhm.
his son that's still here, and I think the gap, as far as like the physical gap of him not having his father in the space that me and two of our other friends have tried to fill, just to offer support to the mother of his child. And from
Mm.
there, just like reflecting on like conversations we had in our late teens, early 20s, like stuff and trips and other stuff we planned on doing that he's not physically here to be a part of, but I know in spirit he's always gonna be with us. So,
Mm. Beautiful.
No, I appreciate you saying that, and it's so interesting that you did say that because I think I'm starting to feel that a little bit more too. Because I'm not a hiker by nature as well. Where it's kind of like my friends kind of push me to do it more, and like I can see more of like the beauty of it and like the journey of getting there, and then seeing the murals that God has painted for us to see. And I'm just kind of like,
Mm,
man, we're supposed to be doing this. And it's just like that little voice, like,
yeah.
I'm supposed to see this. Like, yeah, I may post it on Instagram, but like, it's for me to remember, like, yo, like, you were supposed to see this because this was a beauty that was invented for us to enjoy.
Yes. Yes.
So,
And we are it.
yeah,
We're not. We're we're interconnected
thank you.
with all of it, and maybe that's what happens. Like I'm reminded that I'm smaller than I'm small, and
Yeah, yeah,
um
beat on the
like, and
yeah.
I feel like sometimes, like in the city, we got goals, we got dreams, we got ambitions, like that ambitious mind. And I'm as an as an athlete who set goals, like I had goals to rush for 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns. Like I set goals, and our coaches set goals for us, and we're so ambitious. Like we want to go get it. Like we trying to get the money and get the dream as well. So it's like, but something about the forest is that's like counter that idea. Like when you in the forest, it's just like, nigga, just chill.
Real.
Like
Real.
it's just let go of all of it and just allow it to happen. Don't chase it, allow it to happen.
And truthfully, with the
Maybe.
original design, I mean, we were never supposed to be worried about the busyness of everything in life with life.
Right.
You cooking right now.
Right. I mean, it's something like, I don't want to get creepy or, witchy on here, but man, the birds and the trees and they just
Still in their original design,
they're
or a
in
lot
their
or at least closer to it than we are.
and they're beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. It's beautiful how they are, just as they are. They didn't have to like all have any alterations or change or the waterfall. It just falls and it's beautiful. We think it's beautiful. Why do we think it's beautiful? No, and nothing about it is perfect. When you're out there, I mean, everything's all twisted and tangled, and
Mhm.
I don't know.
I just, well, I know we've been talking about a lot, bro. So I want to
Yeah.
ask just to get us back on track a little bit for former athletes, whether they're collegiate athletes, high school athletes, some that may have hooped a little bit in middle school and then worked at. No, I'm playing.
I'm a street legend. I'm gonna
Yeah.
stop you.
No,
Don't let them stop your shine.
Exactly.
but
Just go in the street and say stop her.
That's
I'm
it.
up here.
no, but seriously, though, for anybody who knows a former athlete or had any type of passion and life kind of derailed them or put them on different paths and they're having difficulty re-identifying themselves, what words of encouragement would you give them in terms of how to pivot?
Mm, that's so good. Oh man, it's tough. It's hard. It's hard because your brain, it's all you know. Like what you did is all that you know.
Like, was it hard for you to fill out a schedule?
Oh
Well, I
my,
mean, that was because, like, you wake up, you got weights or, whatever, and then film
everybody,
study, and then,
it's all there for you. The blueprint is laid out. This is the blueprint to success. And then when it's over with, it's like the blueprint is just, shredded into pieces. And then it's like now you just on an island
and now we're going to throw you in the water.
with nothing. I would say for the current athletes, read. Read something that you are interested in. Not You don't have to read about self-growth. You can read about lions. Read. Develop your literacy skills, which is something that's just not pushed. particularly like in high profile cats. I mean, like college cats, NFL guys. I mean, like, what you got to read for? I got $50 million in the bank. Like, why do I need to be literate when I got FU money?
So your black ass can know when that agent is doing
You carry too many.
you know, like, so it's just like,
what Floyd say, I don't need to read, I can count.
right. Like, I don't know, read a little bit. Um, find a hobby. Find one hobby, something that is free fun, something you ain't being ambitious towards. Maybe a few things you're not being ambitious towards. You just do it because you enjoy it. If it's, like me, I like going to the beach and grabbing all the oyster shells or seashells and just creating something on the beach, like create a mandala. But like find a hobby, read, do things that regular citizens do. People with FU money don't do.
Mhm.
Like integrate yourself into a human. Because I mean, it's so unnatural to have that much money and that much praise and that much power that when you get out of it and you got the money, but you don't have the praise and the power anymore. Like man, ain't nothing more dangerous than an unfocused superstar.
Mm.
Like somebody who got the world at their hand, but they don't have focus. Like you gotta find something else. Yeah, I'm being preachy, but I'm preaching. You gotta find something else to focus on
Mhm.
that is of your interest, and you have to be okay. This is the hardest one for us. Be okay with becoming a beginner again.
Mhm.
You have to be okay by starting at square one. I'm only 4 years old as a poet, and I read some Toni Morrison or I'll read some James Baldwin, and I'm just like, man, I got a long way to go. I got a long way to go, and if you can be okay with becoming a beginner, if you want to make movies, go take a class. Just start at class one. If you want to be an actor, just take a theater class. Like, just humble yourself a little bit and be okay with being a beginner again.
Mm. Mm. Well, well said.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna skip that question.
Mm.
I got two more for me, and then we'll open up our favorite game as we in the interviews. Is we've kind of alluded and kind of talked about like mental wellness, and I feel like you're the perfect person to kind of ask about this. Is what stigmas do you feel that we as a culture and a populace struggle with when it comes to what is true mental health and mental wellness?
Mm.
What is missed?
Mental health, mental wellness. Oh man, when you said the word stigma, that it's. Hmm. So we'll start with mental health.
Mm.
Start with mental health. Um, that it's not accessible. I think that's a stigma. That it is inaccessible. Like to um, make yourself better. Allow yourself to be better. There are many holistic ways um, that you can heal yourself, natural ways that you can heal yourself, free ways that are ancient as, you know, West Africa, like tribal ways that you can heal yourself. Sun and the drum and dance. That's how we did it. That was our grieving process. You know, when we were back in our homeland. But nowadays in a city, when you got so many things going on, responsibilities happening, um, man, the journal's free. The journal's free. The forest is free. These are all scientifically proven ways. They're holistic, but they're scientifically backed evidence around like the chemicals in evergreen trees and how they calm you. The journal's free. The dancing is free. Singing is free. I mean, it's accessible. Being in community and doing
Mhm.
group projects and just rapping this right here. This is free.
Yeah.
And this is healing. This is how we heal, and it's not a it- it's not a pill, so you don't see the immediate effects, but I mean, you feel it. You feel different, and it's something that you have to keep up with. I feel my mental health decline when I don't go to spoken words.
Mhm.
I feel my mental health decline when I'm not in the forest. I feel my mental health decline when I'm not connected with friends,
Mhm.
connecting with family. Um, you can be proactive, and mental wellness. Oh man, it's I don't know, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that you look at your life and you just ask yourself how, like, just keep asking yourself, how do I feel? Like, my stomach hurts after I eat a certain food, or if my head hurts after I eat a certain food. That's feedback. That's feedback for you to maybe look at your diet, um, your physical diet. If you can't sleep at night, well, I mean, what are you watching before you go to bed? It really goes back to that quote. Our diet is not only what we eat, but it's what we see, what we hear. Um, that's our diet as well. Like I wrote something the other day. It's like, I had a stressful afternoon, therefore I will soak in lavender. Like, I mean, it's just these herbs. Like, there's that's just something that has become natural,
Mhm.
but it didn't start that way. I just started listening to my body a little bit more. I got in tune with myself a little bit more. So, um, man, that's yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God, just something real quick
Yeah.
because I feel I'll be remiss not to. So Marcus, you've spoken a lot about the work you're doing now, both as a teacher, a spoken word poet, and keynote speaker, and everything of the like. For someone who hasn't attended a Marcus Lattimore hosted
Oh
spoken
man.
spoken word event, one, what's that experience like? And secondly, like, what would you say your content's like?
Oh wow. That's such a good question. Um, the first word I would say was explosive, because I come from this spoken word lineage that's not traditional. Like, I found the vault of Oscar Brown Jr., which was he like founded the Jackson Five. He was jazz player, poet, playwright. Um, I found his poem, and it completely changed my life. One of his poems called "Bid a Man," and he takes on the role of an auctioneer at a slave market,
Mm.
and he's bidding in slaves, and that's the poem. And it's the most hypnotic,
And
powerful.
you say you founded the Jackson Five.
He founded the Jackson Five.
Kind of crazy that he worked in the music industry. That type of analogy, but there's a lot of parallels there.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Damn.
Sheesh.
So, but yeah, like I found him, and I was like, okay, this is my genre, spoken word. And then I found Allen Ginsberg, which was like a 20th century literary legend. And they're just crazy. They are two crazy poets. And that's what I like. I like crazy poets. I like poets who don't really give a damn when they step on stage. They're acting a little bit. It's a little bit theater attached to it. And they lose themselves into the moment. So I would say explosive. And my content, I don't know, I explore a lot around mysticism and I would say it's comedic. I try to keep it comedic, like keeping light of life, because that's what my spiritual practice has kind of like led me to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like just realizing that, you know, maybe it's not as serious as what we seem. Maybe life, maybe you can play a little bit in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like that's kind of
Yeah.
like what my like, you know, after doing yoga for a few years, like that's what kind of like loosens you up,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
loosens your mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to one of your events before. I love your work, and if you don't follow him, if y'all don't follow him, please check his work on Instagram. The typewriter tattoo, that's a nice little touch.
No doubt.
Yeah,
No doubt.
yeah,
It's its own instrument.
yeah,
Yeah, it deserves its place right up there with the saxophone and
yeah,
violin too.
for sure.
So I'm bringing us to our last question of the interview, and then we have one final game, please, really quick. But
Cool.
one of the big questions I want to ask you to bring this all together is, if let's just say your college self, your high school self, and maybe even say your middle school self
Mm.
could see you right now, what do you think they would say?
My college self, golly. I mean, he was just addicted to pleasure, so he'd just be confused. He'd just be confused. All he cared about was how many girls. How many girls and how many touchdowns. High school self, same thing. Like just just how many girls. Where the
Being
girls
honest.
at? Where the chicks at?
You being honest.
Oh man. Just confused. They both be like, who is this dude? Number one.
Mhm.
My younger self, he'd be like, good job. I've been waiting on you.
That's fire.
That's what he'd say. I've been waiting on you. You got lost in the sauce for a very long time.
Mhm.
So I'm glad you're back. So
All right. Well, we're just gonna shift into the last game here. Because you used to play football.
yeah.
Normally, I do it with basketball. That's my game. I like to call.
Wrist up.
Yeah, exactly. I used play this game called Shot Clock, right? So it's just rapid fire questions. You're gonna give me rapid fire answers. So, for
Mm.
example, I'm gonna ask you a question: which color you like more, red or blue? And you're gonna say
Blue.
so. You know how to play then, all right? So let me know when you're ready, and we get started.
Let's get it.
All right. So first off, best summer of the three: Duncan, South Carolina, Portland, Oregon, or the Bay?
Hey,
Bay.
all day.
I don't take that disrespect kindly, but all right. All right.
Sorry.
You're running back Mount Rushmore.
LaDainian Tomlinson, Frank Gore, Marcus Allen.
Got one more.
Oh, 4.
Yep.
Goddamn. Oh. Darren McFadden.
Okay. One adjective to describe how you were feeling before your first spoken word event.
Shaky.
Mhm. Favorite activity or niche hobby you've picked up since you've been living in Oregon?
Dark chocolate tasting.
Okay. Real.
Oh,
All right.
that's in Oregon. I'll tell you. All right, that's in
All
Oregon.
right.
I've submitted. I am a Portlander.
Real.
Yeah.
All right. So, and be honest with me. I don't need no PC.
No bullshit.
I don't need no PC answer.
Okay.
All right. You had the opportunity. You could break you Saquon Barkley. You breaking Eric Dickerson's record, or you sitting out that last game?
I'm breaking this record.
Real.
Immortal. Put my name in the galaxy.
Real.
I'm breaking this record. I ain't sitting out.
Yeah. All right. I just got 2 more for you.
Ego trip. That was an ego trip.
No, for real. You 10 years younger in terms of the timeline when you were born. Same accolades coming out of high school. How much money would the University of Southern California have had to pay you in NIL money to sign there?
Damn. They had it too.
Run it up.
They had it. They had it. Bush had it before he had it.
Yeah, for sure.
And they in Hollywood too. Oh, they coming up off that. Them alumni. Give me 10.
10?
Easy.
10, yeah.
10 easy. I ain't even coming to visit.
Real.
It's just that simple.
Real. You can watch though, so keep your head low. All right, last one though, on a serious note. You know, I hope you live a very prosperous life, all of us, but eventually it will be our time. So when they write on your tombstone, Marcus Lattimore was blank.
A model of courage.
Real.
Damn.
That's all I got, bro. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you. This was so much fun.
It was a powerful interview.
I have to admit, I'm actually quite jealous that I can't edit this one. This is gonna be a good one. Yeah, I actually really like what you said. Model of courage. I'm actually gonna write that down. Because I also want to model that. So even though I know these guys will all say it themselves, but I'll just say as a collective, because we're thinking as a hive mind. Thank you so much for your time, energy, and effort for coming on the show today. I just want to say thank you.
Oh, thank you as well, bro.
Oh, this was highlight of my year.
Oh,
this was awesome.
Thank you, G. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, I know we could really just keep on talking for hours,
I'm
but
not
we
gonna lie.
For real. Like,
but
man,
not gonna keep you up.
Y'all are prepared and just the chemistry feels really nice.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Man, that means a lot from a man who's in tune with the energy. Man, hey, if y'all made it this far, comment what keeps you grounded below, and let's just say if you like what we're doing, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll put the energy out there. Help me to, pay my friends as we build this empire, and do all the things. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm Cartier Rob.
Tay Ford.
Marcus Lattimore.
We out.
All right, yeah.